Have you ever wondered how a baby who once fell asleep in Lionel Messi's arms could grow up to become the biggest threat to Messi's final World Cup dream? It sounds like something straight out of a movie, but it actually happened. 19 years ago, during a Barcelona charity event, a young Lionel Messi was photographed holding a newborn baby. At the time, nobody knew who that baby was. Nobody imagined that one photograph would become one of the most unbelievable images in soccer history. Fast forward to today. That same baby is no longer sleeping. He's wearing Spain's jersey. He's one of the most dangerous young players on the planet, and his name is Lamine Yamal. This weekend, Argentina and Spain meet in the FIFA World Cup final for the very first time. For Messi, it's likely the final World Cup match of his legendary career. For Yamal, it's the chance to begin a new era. But here's the twist. This story isn't really about soccer. Today, Mr. So Simple will reveal how one photograph, two football superstars, centuries of history, colonial empires, and one life-changing decision all collided to create the most fascinating World Cup final ever. At first glance, Argentina and Spain don't seem like fierce rivals. They've rarely played meaningful matches. There isn't a famous goal. There isn't a controversial final. So why does this matchup feel so much bigger? Because their real story began more than 200 years before soccer even existed. For nearly 250 years, Argentina was part of the Spanish Empire. Its people were ruled from Madrid, and its wealth flowed back to Spain. Everything changed in 1810. The people of Buenos Aires began a revolution that eventually led to independence. One of the greatest heroes of that fight was General José de San Martín. He crossed the freezing Andes, liberated Chile, and helped free Peru alongside Simón Bolívar. These men became known as the Liberators. Their legacy is still alive today. South America's biggest club competition isn't named after a company or a city. It's called the Copa Libertadores, honoring the heroes who defeated Spanish rule. That tells you something important. In Argentina, history and soccer have always been connected. But here's the strange part. Even after winning independence, Argentina never stopped speaking Spanish. Instead, it transformed the language into something uniquely Argentine. Its accent changed. Its expressions changed. Millions of Italian immigrants reshaped the way people spoke, lived, and even played soccer. It became a European game, played with a South American identity, and no player represents that contradiction better than Lionel Messi. Messi was born in Rosario, but as a child, he was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. His treatment was expensive. Most Argentine clubs couldn't afford it. Barcelona could. At just 13 years old, Messi moved to Spain and entered La Masia, one of the greatest soccer academies in history. He grew up there. He learned there. He became a superstar there. For a short time, Spain even hoped he would represent them internationally. But in 2005, Messi made his choice. He chose Argentina. From that moment on, every trophy, every heartbreak, and every World Cup belonged to the country where he was born, not the country where he was built. Now let's look at the other side of this incredible story. Lamine Yamal was born in 2007, just outside Barcelona. His father is Moroccan. His mother comes from Equatorial Guinea, another country once ruled by Spain. Long before anyone knew his name, he became part of an unforgettable moment. During a Barcelona Foundation event, a young Lionel Messi was photographed holding baby Yamal in his arms. At the time, it was just another charity photo. Nobody imagined it would become one of soccer's most famous images years later. Then everything changed. Yamal rose through La Masia, the very same academy that transformed Messi into a superstar. He made his first team debut as a teenager. Soon after, he became one of Europe's brightest young talents, breaking age records and helping Spain win a major international trophy. Suddenly, that old photograph returned. What once looked like a random snapshot now felt like destiny. And now, the two players stand on opposite sides of the biggest stage in world soccer. Messi is chasing one final World Cup before ending an unforgettable international career. Yamal is trying to announce the beginning of a new generation. But this final represents more than two incredible players. It reflects centuries of shared history. One nation fought to break away from Spain while keeping its language. The other continues producing world-class talent from a football system admired around the globe. Messi represents a player built in Spain, but forever loyal to Argentina. Yamal represents modern Spain, shaped by families whose roots stretch far beyond Europe. Different journeys, different generations, one unforgettable final. That's why this match is about much more than lifting a trophy. It's about identity, history, choices, and the strange ways the past keeps finding its way back into the present. A single photograph connected two lives before either story had truly begun. Years later, those lives collide on the biggest stage imaginable. Whether Messi writes one last chapter of greatness, or Yamal begins a brand new era. One thing is certain. Every fan watching this final will be witnessing a story that started long before the opening whistle. I'm Mr. So Simple. Subscribe for more soccer stories explained so simple.